welcome to my channel. I'm Anna. I run an Etsy shop where I sell stationery including stickers aimed at planners and journals and various other art related items. If you're a stationery addict like me, don't forget to subscribe and welcome to my channel. Hello, welcome back. It's been a really long time since I made a video. I think the last one I did was before Christmas. I think it was a craft room tour. Just kind of like an update year on year of what my office, craft room, whatever you want to call it, looks like. But yeah, I can't believe it's May already. I swear every weekend I've said since the start of the year, I really need to make a YouTube video. I really need to make a YouTube video. The problem with that is if I haven't made anything new, I don't really know what to come in on here and talk to you about. So unless I've got new stuff, or at least a good chunk of new stuff to show you, I can't really think of a reason to make you a video. But I mean, I could be wrong. If there's anything else that you want me to talk about, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be stickers, I suppose. But anyway, this is going to be a long video because I have left it. And in that time I've made 3 different collections. Some of them you might have seen already because they're already on the shop and I just haven't done a video yet. Some of them will be on the shop by the time you do see this video. But yeah, I am going to switch the camera over to a bird's eye view just because I have so much to show you and I can't show you very well over here. Also, I've got it on the selfie camera, so everything's backwards, which is annoying. But I have so much. I have stickers, I have notepads. Can I even put these up? Ugh. Stickers, notepads, new maps. I have loads to show you, so I'm going to switch the camera over and I'll see you in a minute and we can have a look at it all. Bye! Okay, I am back, ready to show you everything that I've been doing for the last 5 months, I guess. So, I've had this idea for a really long time that I wanted to make some kits for special occasions, and obviously the top 2 special occasions that happen in our lives are normally weddings and having babies. So those are the kits that I focused on in January, February sort of time, and I did both kits at the same time. And oh well, I guess here they are. So this is the wedding kit. Oh, excuse my squeaky chair. So it's a standard kit, so we've got the deco page. And I tried to choose neutral colours for this, relatively neutral, but obviously it was difficult to, I suppose, choose colours that everybody would want because everybody has a different theme for their wedding, don't they? So I tried to go for kind of stereotypical wedding-y colours in the hopes that everyone would find it cute, I suppose. But anyway, that's the deco page. And this is the boxes. So we've got bride-to-be, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. We've got some coordinating washi and some plain boxes as well for you to write things in. We've got the usual functional sheet with the weekday covers, date covers, and then obviously a nice big sticker for you to mark when your actual wedding is. I also updated some of the headers and changed them out for what I would normally put, and you've got wedding stuff, like things to do, things to plan, stuff to get ready. And then we've got some wedding washi, and these are just wedding patterns that I made up using the illustrations from the deco. And then obviously you've got some coordinating kind of simpler strips as well. Okay, so that's the full kit. And that has been on the shop for a while now, but obviously this is the first time I've actually shown anyone. There we go. I'm terrible at marketing, terrible. But yeah, so along with this full illustrated kit, we've got some doodle stickers, and I've tried to do this for both kits. So you've got the kind of really illustrated full kit, and then you've got some sheets that are just doodles for people that don't necessarily like to do a full spread but still want some relevant stickers to go in their planner. These are particularly good for smaller planners because these are quite big, Initially when I opened my shop, my templates were arranged around the Happy Planner, which is where these box sizes come from. But I have known people use these in any planner, to be honest. Okay, so we've got a nice bright sheet for hen parties, bachelorette parties, whatever it is that you want to call it. And this is just some cute doodles for you to celebrate, you know, your night out, maybe your holiday, your trip, whatever it is that you're planning to do for your hen do. And obviously these aren't specific to the bride, these are for the hens too, and you can decorate your planner and get ready for that weekend away. And then also along with that, we've got some just plain doodles. These are basically the same stickers from this kit. I've just made them smaller, and obviously these are just a lot simpler, more doodly, I suppose. And then this sheet, this one is a lot more functional. So we've got typical tasks that you would need to do to get ready for your wedding. Obviously there's loads of planning involved with a wedding day, and I've tried to include everything that you would, I suppose, need on a general day. Obviously this isn't going to cover, you know, a really extravagant wedding that needs a lot, but I've included the basics, you know, getting things ready for the bridesmaids, groomsmen, your guest list, seating plan, you know, finding your dress, transport, shoes, you know, the basics. And then you've got some little to-do list boxes and some check boxes as well. Okay, so that is everything that I did for weddings. This isn't the kind of like finished wedding collection though. Now that I've done these illustrations, I am planning to do a bunch of other stuff to go along with it. And that includes perhaps some wedding related notebooks, maybe some wedding favours, and also a wedding activity book for children. I used to sell one of those, but I've been wanting to update it for ages. And now that I've got all these new graphics, I will be updating that very soon. And also now that I have some new equipment for making notebooks, I'll be able to make those myself in-house, which is very exciting. So yeah, that's the wedding kit, but more stuff related to that coming soon if stickers aren't your thing. So the next special occasion I did was a new baby, and this is the same as the last kit. We've got the basic sheets, we've got the deco stickers, we've got the little pram, the little train, stork, and then we've got the boxes, you know, our family is about to grow by 2 little feet, we've got Stork Express infant delivery service, we've got washi tape, boxes, and then some really skinny washi along the bottom. I also liked this box here for the gender reveal day, if you're planning to have one, or maybe you're going for your scan, even if you don't want to do anything fancy. I certainly didn't. Literally just went to the scan and then text everyone, and that was about it. I also liked this one as well because I wanted to acknowledge people that have obviously experienced loss. After every storm there is a rainbow of hope, and then obviously, you know, if this is your rainbow baby, that is a nice way to honour it. And we've got functional stickers, and obviously you have lots of appointments when you're pregnant, expecting a baby. So we've got lots of headers, and then obviously another big sticker to acknowledge the actual day that your baby is due. Not that they actually turn up on that day, but you know, it's nice to acknowledge it, isn't it? Okay, and we've got some baby washi strips. So these are again just patterns that I've made up from the existing illustrations. We've got some toys, some ducks, clothing, socks, and then just some generic patterns, some stripes, spots, and then obviously the skinny washi as well. And again, some doodly sheets, but with this kit I might have gone a bit overboard and I made quite a few because obviously with a new baby, I didn't just want to focus on, I suppose, the pregnancy. I wanted to try and include a sheet for everyone at whatever stage that you're at. So whether that's the general kind of pregnancy stage and new baby stage, I have one for that, and then this one kind of covers the pregnancy itself. So you've got your first scan, 20 weeks, and last scan, and then obviously you've got your trimesters, and then you've got some little doodles, and then appointments and cravings, and then just some milestone markers like gender reveal, you heard the heartbeat today, and then nesting mode has been activated, which was my favourite. There's also some things to do and symptom tracker as well. There is more to add to this though, so don't worry. But the next one I did was obviously for, oh dear, that's not cut properly, we'll have to do that one again. Don't worry, these were prototypes, yours will not arrive like that. Oh dear, I've had really bad hay fever lately and I'm feeling a bit like stuffed, so I apologise if you can hear me kind of like struggling to breathe, I guess. But yeah, this one is aimed at established mums, I suppose, that are in that stage, you know, where you spend a lot of your time at soft play, you've got to get organised, you know, you've got after school clubs, you've got non-uniform days to remember, packed lunches, school trips, and then obviously birthday parties, play dates, and you know, sleep is definitely overrated and you need a nap. Okay, and then obviously there is this stage before parenting where you're trying to have a baby, I guess, and I try to cover everything on one sheet, but a lot of these I've also included on individual sheets as well, because obviously like the ovulation stickers and the pregnancy stickers, I imagine you'd need quite a few of those, you know, if you're all, you know, on this journey, and you need quite a few ovulation stickers to keep track of that, and pregnancy tests, especially as well if you're going through fertility treatment and things like that. For example, this temperature sticker, I have done an individual sheet from that, because obviously that's something you would track every day. And then we've got some cycle tracking droplets as well, a thought sticker, feeling tracker, symptoms, prenatal vitamins, and then obviously some baby dust. And then I have included a key here as well, so you can track your fertile days with the flowers, you know, your baby dances with the hearts, and then obviously your period with the droplets, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, and then this one is kind of an expansion on that one I mentioned earlier with the pregnancy tracker, because I couldn't fit them all on one page and I was so excited to do something like this. So this is basically, I suppose, what you would get on your pregnancy app, where, you know, they track the size of the baby in relation to either a fruit or a vegetable, which I found really interesting, and it kept me going each week of my pregnancy. But these are in sticker form, so you can put these in your planner from 4 weeks at the size of a poppy seed all the way to 40 weeks at the size of a pumpkin, and you can put these absolutely anywhere. And then obviously there's one to acknowledge that your baby has arrived. This one is a general mood tracker. I included this one with the trying for a baby, because obviously trying to conceive, fertility treatment, IVF, things like that, they're stressful, and obviously you need to keep track of how you're feeling and take care of yourself mentally, so that's part of that kit, if that makes sense. And then, like I said, the temperature trackers, just because you'll need quite a few of these if this is the route that you're taking and you're planning on checking these every day. Again, prenatal vitamins, these are week-long habit trackers, so that you can make sure that you're taking those. Either, I have called them prenatal vitamins, obviously they're not really prenatal if you're already pregnant, but for some reason everyone still calls them that anyway. But yeah, these are obviously for before you get pregnant and during as well. And these are some new period tracker stickers, and I know that this row is upside down, but it's the only way I could get it to fit, but that one basically says start and that one says finish. And this was part of the kind of trying to conceive kit, but obviously absolutely anyone could use this if you want to keep track of your period. And again, like I said, this sheet is mostly ovulation sticks, if that's something that you're needing to do, you know, every single day, if you've got irregular periods or you're waiting for it to return after you've been pregnant, after birth control, that sort of thing. There's a lot of ovulation stickers on here, so I've tried to fit as many as I can as possible, you know, to keep the cost down, and then you've got a few pregnancy ones at the bottom. Okay, so that's all the stickers that I did for pregnancy and new babies and being a mum. But as with the wedding kit, I am planning to kind of expand on this collection and perhaps include some notebooks, and I also thought, oh, that was another item for the wedding kit as well, with the Oh, sorry, I'm going to take my headphones off. They are driving me nuts. I'm testing out having an actual microphone this time because the audio on my phone is just terrible. But yeah, I can't wear the headphones at the same time. It's doing my nut in. But hopefully the sound turns out okay without me listening. So yeah, along with this and the wedding kit, I have also been designing a sticker chart. And I'm not sure if this is a really weird thing to make or not, but I thought, well, it's something that I would have liked anyway while I was pregnant with my second baby, especially because it would have been nice for something my daughter could do, because obviously I had the app counting down, but at the time she was only 2 years old, whereas if we'd had a sticker chart and she could have put a sticker on every single week to count down to when the baby was due, I think she would have really enjoyed that, and obviously older children would feel more involved as well. So that's definitely something I'm going to work on, and it will count down basically week by week, so you'll have 40 weeks, 40 stickers to put on and count down to the due date. I'm also going to do something similar with the wedding kit as well. Obviously that's a bit different because it's aimed at grown-ups, but I thought it would be fun, and obviously with everyone having a different kind of length of engagement, it's impossible for me to set up a sticker chart for everybody. So I think what I'm going to do is a countdown to, you know, we've got 30 days left to our wedding, and it will count down the last month before your wedding, and yeah, just a bit of fun. We'll see. Anyway, I will make it, stick it on the shop. If no one's interested, then I'll know then, won't I? But anyway, so that is the baby collection. Like I said, this is going to have some notebooks with it, maybe a pregnancy diary, something like that. I'm not sure really what else to include with this, but if there are any items related to pregnancy, trying for a baby, parenting, you know, anything like that, let me know in the comments, and you know, I'll take a look and see if it's doable. Okay, next big thing I suppose is the map, and I'm just going to stand up quickly here so I can make sure that the map is actually in the frame because it's quite big. No, it's not in the frame, but never mind. Okay, so I have recently updated my Caravan map, and I had a really bad cold a few weeks ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm ill, I'm stuck on the sofa, I'm going to redraw the map. So that's what I did. I redrew it, I coloured it all in with this kind of coloured pencil effect, I don't know if you can see that, and kind of changed the colours. So in comparison to the existing map that I sell, this one is a lot more vintage looking, a lot more hand drawn, it's a lot more neutral, because I have had a few messages from people asking if I do a different map that's less cartoony, has less on it, and I suppose it's just a little bit more grown up in comparison to the other map. In fact, I don't have another map to show you. Damn it. Oh well. But yeah, if you know the map, you'll know what I'm talking about. This one doesn't come with customised text on it, but it does come with a customised logo. At the moment, just because it's the only logos I've drawn, but obviously I can add more if other people need different things. But at the moment it comes with a caravan, a tent, a van and a motorhome. I have had to take off the camper van, I suppose the V-dub, just for copyright purposes. The last thing I want is my shop to be closed down just because I've got a little, you know, illustration of a camper van, but sorry about that, but it's got to be done. Yeah, so this comes with obviously all the normal stuff. It comes packaged with a nice little banner on the top, and then it does come with stickers wherever they've gone. Where have they gone? Oh, here they are. Okay, so I have made these stickers slightly smaller, and then you get a lot more. I think there's about 140 on here from when I counted. But obviously, if you're not familiar with how the map works, you take the sticker, you plonk it on the county that you've camped at, and then you keep track of all of your trips, and then eventually, obviously, you have a complete map. That's the idea. So that's that, and then obviously you get tiny little tents as well. tiny little motorhomes and teeny weeny little vans as well. So there is also the option to add some extra stickers, and this is just some caravan camping related doodles. You can add these to your map if you want to, if you wanted to add some more detail, or if obviously the map is aimed at children rather than yourself. I have also done some caravan washi with the same graphics. If you like to journal, or you know, keep a travel journal, a travel planner, things like that, that might be handy. Which leads me on to the next item I've made that kind of goes along with the map, but more this kind of whole collection. And that is some notebooks. And this is a new addition to the shop in general, because I've never made stapled notebooks before, and yeah, it's been a process. But anyway, this was the first one that I did, and it is a little A6, I suppose, pocket stapled notebook, and it has the same pattern on it, same graphics as these stickers, so you could get both at the same time if you wanted them to match. And I think this one is a prototype, so I can't remember if I've changed the inside cover, but it is basically the same. You might just find I've changed the inside of this because I didn't like it. But yeah, you've just got lined paper on the inside. I think front and back you end up with about 50 pages. And then at the back it says, "A bad day camping is still better than the best day at work," which is so true. But anyway, they're very soft. The matte card that I've chosen to do the covers with is very nice. It's very smooth. But yeah, that comes in A6 and also A5 for if you wanted to do a little bit more journaling, whereas I imagine this one would be more handy if you wanted to do something like bird watching or a scavenger hunt while you were walking, whereas this one is quite a bit bigger if you wanted to do some journaling. And I think these would be better suited for in here. I think it would make quite a nice gift actually, those two together. Yeah, that is everything I have to show you as part of the kind of caravan and camping sort of add-ons that I've done for the last 5 months, but there is more that I just can't show you. Okay, sorry, phone cut out there. I think I'm running out of memory. I'm gonna have to sit and delete a bunch of videos, I think. But yeah, this is what I can show you from the Caravan collection, because the other stuff that I've made is actually print on demand. I've been trying to look at ways that I can add different products to this store without having to kind of make them myself, because obviously the equipment gets expensive, I don't have the space, and obviously, you know, you can buy all of those things and not sell anything, so it's a huge risk as well. Yeah, so I've got, I think, another mug that's on there, just a normal ceramic mug, but I've also added an enamel mug, a bit lighter to take on camping. I will put some pictures up here now of the mugs, magic pictures. And what else did I do? Oh, and I've also done a pack of coasters, which is a bit random, but I saw on the site that I use that they sell 4 packs of coasters. And I'd originally kind of thought about designing singular coasters, you know, to give as gifts. You could have it personalised, you know, with whatever you want on it. But the company that I use only do them in packs of 4. And I thought, well, that might be quite nice actually. They're cork backed, they're quite light to take in your caravan, and I've done them as a kind of collection. They are based on, where's it gone? Shouldn't have covered that up now, let's move this stuff out of the way. They are based on this design here. I've just kind of elaborated on it and added some stuff around the edges. And then instead of our adventure map, there's a space at the bottom where you can add your personalisation. So either something like the Smith family, or our caravan adventures, or, you know, the name of your caravan, whatever it is that you want to put on there, that will be printed on each coaster. And I've done kind of either a mixed pack of 4 coasters that are just related to camping. So they have the caravan, the tent, the motorhome and the van. Or you can have all 4 the same with just, you know, all caravan or motorhome, whatever it is that you want. So those will be on the store, in the store rather, once this video goes out. And then I'm also thinking of adding a couple more things that I've seen on there that I quite like. One of them is a new addition to Printify, and I've not used Printify before, so I'm a bit wary, but I have been wanting to include kind of caravan themed key rings on the shop for a while, and they're the only print on demand place that I've found that do them. If there are others, please let me know, because I'm desperate to find a UK based print on demand keyring supplier, because I think key rings are one of the first things that I looked for when I got my Caravan. I don't know why, I just wanted something related to put on my Caravan keys. It's just a must, isn't it? I've also seen on there that they do this really cool magnet, and it is shaped like a bottle top. I will put a picture up here somewhere. And you can customise it and have what you want printed on it, but also the back of the magnet that you'd stick on your fridge is a bottle opener. And obviously when you're camping, one of the things that you're always trying to look for is, you know, smaller versions of everything, lighter versions of everything, things that can do, you know, multiple things all in one, so that they take up minimal space. And this is definitely something that I would have wanted in my Caravan. You know, it's going to look nice on my fridge in my Caravan, but also it serves a purpose, and it's not very heavy for when, you know, I need to open something. So that's going to be included if I can figure out how to do it, because I've never used Printify before, and not all their suppliers are UK based, and obviously that could make the shipping expensive if you are in the UK and you're ordering from me, which obviously I wouldn't want to do. I like to keep my shipping as low as possible, to the, you know, not to the point where obviously it's costing me money, but as low as I can, really. So, right, that is everything I have for these. I have the map, the stickers, the notebooks, the 2 mugs, and the coasters. Please go and look at those if you like camping. On to the next one. Right, so let's chuck that over there. Right, so the next collection I did is a bit random, but back in October I started a second job, because unfortunately the business has rapidly declined, you know, since COVID. You know, the year of COVID and the year after were really good, I think, for stationery shops, or maybe it's just me. But I've also been going through a lot over the last few years, and I just haven't had the time to put into the shop or the energy, and it has declined significantly over the last 4 years, unfortunately. So yeah, I do have a second job at a hospital. I also work for the NHS as well as doing this at the weekends. I work there part-time, just doing some admin, and yeah, while I've been there, it has given me some ideas. My mum is also a nurse, so that's also given me some ideas, and yeah, I thought I would design a collection of useful items for people that work in healthcare, and this is what I've got so far. So obviously, to start with, we've got stickers, obviously, and these are just medical, you know, medical doodles. You know, you could put these in anything. It doesn't have to be a planner, you know, it could be a notebook, it could be your calendar, it could be, you know, your desk at work if it's boring. But these just have, you know, all the basics on there, just some cute little doodles to make your day a little bit more interesting. And I also turned that into some washi. You know, you can decorate notebooks with these. I wouldn't recommend sticking these on patient notes, but yeah, make your notebook a bit better and a bit more cheerful. So that's the stickers. And then to go along with those, in fact I'll leave those there, I made some notebooks. First one being this pocketbook, and I liked the idea of this because it fits perfectly in a tunic pocket, you know, the one at the bottom of your tunic. It's not actually on this, it's just the top pocket. But yeah, I was constantly hearing people talk about handover and that they didn't have anything to write stuff in, and that's where this came from. So this is a tiny little A6 pocket book for you to write your notes in, and on the back it says a few caring people is all it takes to change the world. Again, this is a prototype, so you might find that the version that you see on my store is very slightly different, where I've, you know, made this and then made changes to it. I think this is basically the same. The only thing I've changed is perhaps that heart. I think now it is this one instead, because it made sense. So yeah, and then inside is again some lined paper, and then you've got a spot here and it says this notebook belongs to a really cool nurse. But obviously this could be anything. This could be this notebook belongs to a really cool midwife, and then you could have, you know, just your name on the front. It doesn't need to be if you're a nurse. This can be for anyone in healthcare that wears, you know, a tunic. And then there's a spot here for you to put your name, your department, your hospital, and then it says if you find this notebook, please return it. And then at the back it says what you do today might be something a patient remembers forever. And yeah, that's just a nice little notebook that you can put your little scribbles in throughout the day. And again, I think the inside of this one is slightly different. I think I changed it, and now the inside actually has one of these patterns. I think it's this one on the inside. You'll see on the shop. But yeah, the front can obviously be personalised. This can say whatever you want. It can have your title. It can just have your name. It can be blank, and we can just stick a heart there if you want. This also comes in different coloured tunics. At the moment I only have navy and a white tunic, just because I'm not 100% sure who wears what colours. But if there is a colour that you wear that you would like to see on your notebook, just send me a message and I can change the colour for you, and then we'll update the listing, and then hopefully eventually we'll have all the most popular colours as a drop down option. But yeah, can change that colour quite easily. And yeah, I'm hoping that this will be really useful to all you nurses out there. Okay, as well as that, I did a bigger version, obviously. This is A5, and this has a slightly bigger version of the tunic on it, and again, you can personalise it. I have this version, but I also have another version, and I can't decide between the two, because initially my idea was to have the A6 version be a close-up of the pocket, the A5 version be a slightly bigger version of the tunic, and then I was planning to have this A4 version, which has kind of the whole tunic on it. But honestly, this is so big. I don't know how useful this would be to anyone in a hospital. It looks enormous now, look. I mean, I suppose if you really wanted, this could be something on your desk, but at the moment I'm only going to list this one and this one on the store, and I think I may swap out this graphic for this one on the A5 one. But anyway, I'm going to do that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and you're a nurse and you would really like an A4 sized book. This is a prototype again, so there are bits that I need to change, like this is far too big. No one needs that big on there. This is all far too big as well. This all needs to be adjusted, but yeah, again, what you do today might be something a patient remembers forever, and then obviously just all the lined pages. Yeah, and that's the same for all of them. They just come in different sizes. But anyway, that's all the stapled books. Do let me know if you want the A4 version, because I'm not going to list it just now, just because I don't think it would be useful. So that's the notebooks. And then I've also been experimenting with glued notepads. And again, these are prototypes, so don't worry about how scruffy they are. So the first one I did was a little A6 glued notepad. And this one says a little note from, and then obviously your name. And then it has the little personalised tunic, and again that can be changed colour as well, and at the moment it's navy or white. And this just has lines on it, and then the idea behind this was, you know, you get stationery and it'll say this note comes from the desk of such and such. This is kind of similar, so if you need to just, you know, drop a note on someone's desk or something, it says a little note from Diane Smith, that's who it's from. It will have a little sticker on the back. I just haven't done those yet, and obviously it'll just say designed by me. So yeah, I think there's about 20 pages. It is a bit, yeah. Oh dear, yeah, this was my first attempt at doing these. Definitely need to put more glue on, but it definitely worked with having thicker board. I tried it initially with the grey board that I used to use and it was far too thin, but these are a lot more stable. Definitely just need to do a lot more layers of glue, but that's easily resolved, and I thought these were quite cute. So that's another one. And then the next one up from that is a phone message pad, and that's just got the same kind of healthcare graphics around it. And this is something that I would use at work, to be honest. This is for phone messages. I have to take so many phone messages, it's ridiculous. This one worked out a lot better because I learnt from that one, and I put a lot more glue on this one and it's worked a lot better. You see, that's not going anywhere. I also used matte glue on this one, which I think looks a lot nicer than the super shiny glue. But anyway, that's a little message pad for you to take your messages on. And then the big one, and I mean big, look how chunky this is. This is a weekly planner kind of desk pad, and it's in kind of semi-NHS colours, and this is your weekly plan for obviously what you need to get through during the week. And you've got your important jobs, the date that week is starting, and then some notes. And there are 52 sheets on this, so this will last you a whole year. And it is quite nice thick paper. It's 140 grams. It is the same paper that I use to print my stickers on, other than the fact that it's not sticky, just because I love how bright the colours come out on this coated paper, and I had to use the same. It's very nice to write on. The only issue I'm having is that it does have a tendency to slightly wrinkle and wave. I don't know if you can see that. It might just be me because I like to look for imperfections, but yeah, because it's coated, it does. There you go, you might see that one a bit better. It does tend to wave a lot more than standard paper does if it's very humid, which it is today, which is why a lot of my paper is doing it. But obviously if you're not in a humid situation, it should be fine. But obviously again, if you're leaning on it all day and actually writing on it, it would be fine anyway, whereas I haven't. It's just been sat in my humid office. But anyway, that is that one. And that reminds me, actually, I did miss something from the Caravan collection, because I have designed one of these to go along with this stuff. And it is basically exactly the same, except it's just lots and lots of lines. And then at the bottom, there is a Caravan illustration. And I imagine this could be used as writing paper. It is definitely nice enough to use as writing paper, but also I thought it would just be a nice notepad to keep in your Caravan. And I'm gonna do that in A4 and also A5, just because it's just lines. It doesn't need to be enormous if you don't want it to, whereas this obviously wouldn't fit on A5 just because you'd have nowhere to write. But anyway, that is everything from the kind of healthcare collection that I can show you, because again, I do have some print-on-demand stuff that I'm including with this too. And obviously, there's mugs. Yeah, there's 2 mugs. One that has the tunic on it, and then some of these kind of healthcare doodles, and you can obviously add your name to the tunic. And then there is another one that just has the NHS pattern all over it with a white background, so it just has this all over it. I have also done a nursey tote bag that has these illustrations, and then in the centre of the bag it has this clip, and then obviously you can personalise it, but I will upload pictures onto the screen now for you to have a look at those. Poof. So yeah, that is everything that I've been doing this year. And I have actually been sat worrying that I haven't really been doing anything on the shop this year, and that's clearly not the case, is it? I think I'm definitely trying to do way too much. But anyway, this is what I've done so far. This has all taken me 5 months to get sorted, and now I'm so glad that it's all done, and I'll be even happier when it's all listed on the shop and you all see this video, and hopefully there is something here that you like. But yeah, please leave me a comment, let me know if there is something here that you like. Please let me know if there is anything missing from either of these collections that you would like to see, that you would find useful in your own life. And yeah, I suppose bye for now, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, before I go actually, while I've been doing all of this, I have also set up a second YouTube channel. And that second YouTube channel is called Anna's Art Club. So if you're watching this and you have children that are around early primary school age, I am planning on doing some very short and sweet drawing tutorials for little kids, you know. Nothing extreme, you know, how to draw a train, how to draw a robot, how to draw a boat, you know, these little things that keep kids entertained, but, you know, aren't, you know, YouTube brain rot, if that makes sense. So if that's something that would interest you and you'd love your kids to learn a bit more about drawing, I will put the link below to Anna's Art Club, and please come over and subscribe. There's nothing on there at the moment, but I promise I am working on some videos and there will be something on there soon. And if you subscribe, you will be the first to know about those videos, and then you can show your children and I'm sure they'll be very grateful. But anyway, I will see you in the next video, hopefully not 5 months from now, hopefully a lot sooner. But anyway, I really hope you like this stuff and have an amazing day. Bye!